What's going on, Legends fans? Again, it's Philip Hall, play-by-play broadcaster for Menlo Park this summer, and I have another player joining me for a quick interview, Quincy Vaya, from VA.
Yep.
This guy traveled cross-country just to come out west to play with the Menlo Park Legends. How about that? And man, you're the guy that's traveled the furthest out of all the players on the squad.
Oh, wow.
How you liking the West Coast so far?
I mean, it's amazing. Back in D.C., there's a lot of humidity. If it's hot, it gets real hot. So out here, it's just beautiful weather. It gets a little cool sometimes, but it's just a blessing to be out here, honestly.
How would you rate the weather, 1 to 10?
I'm giving it a 10, dude. And Virginia it's humid, and then it'll rain, and then it'll be hot. Here it's just kind of consistent, which I really like, and it's just perfect baseball weather.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, welcome to the West Coast, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, just starting out, Coach Sinzera has always spoke highly of you, and so have your coaches back in Marymount. What is it about you as a player that you bring to the table for the Legends?
Well, I'm just going to be a guy that is just trying to win, make winning plays, hustle on and off the field, hustle balls out. I like to think that speed changes games, and that's something that I bring to the table. So swiping bags, getting on base any way I can to just be in a position to help the guys and help us win games.
Right on. And as far as, the season that you have with Marymount, you guys made D3 regionals, good run
Absolutely.
So far. But, what kind of winning mentality are you going to bring here to Menlo Park?
Absolutely. I mean, winning is in my DNA. It's something that I've done my whole life, and, losing is not an option. So, I mean, Coach Chance has preached a winning culture since first day we've been out here, and just going to do anything that I can to help us win. And, he's a great guy to play for, so, I'm going to ride for him.
Yeah, and for the past 2 summers, you played in the California Collegiate League back home in the DMV area. And, what made you want to have a change of scenery to come play and have a shot to compete in the California Collegiate League?
Yeah, so the Ripken is a great experience. It's a really competitive league. A lot of good guys play there, but I'm going to be a rising senior, so this is my last, true summer ball being in college. And you know what? Coach Cass came to me and he was like, you got an opportunity to go to California. And I was like, 2 months? California? Play baseball? That's all you could dream for. So I've never done anything like this before. So I, took a leap of faith to come out here, and I've had such a blast so far, and I just can't wait for the whole summer.
So the coaches made the decision for you?
Well, I mean, I played there in the Ripken the last 2, and, I had a great experience, but I was just looking for something new and heard about coming to the Bay and, look around. This is a beautiful place to play baseball, so it's a blessing to be out here.
Yeah, definitely. And, as far as, personal goals, of course, winning is important, as you mentioned, but what personal goals do you have to get stronger, become a better player before you go back to Marymount in the fall?
Absolutely. Just working with Coach Chance to, I would say, improve overall, right? Not really focus on one area in particular, but just to improve and, work with the guys here and just pick each other's brains, learn different tricks and tactics so that I can take back home and share with my teammates. A personal goal is stolen bases. I've always been my thing. So trying to lead the league, that's something that I take pride in and I strive for. So if we're talking personal goals, that would probably be my one goal.
Right on. And we know from a guy coming the furthest, you're from VA, come out here to Cali. What's the one coolest thing you've liked about your host family so far?
They're just so welcoming. They treat me like I'm part of the family. They go in the kitchen, get whatever you want. This is your room. I rode with the kids to drop them off at school today. So they're just treating me like I'm a part of their family. And, being so far away from home with my family, being across the country, it's really nice to have a family here that I can go back to.
Hey, you want to shout them out?
Yeah, the Jorgensen family, Sarah, Ivan, Arlo, and Cora. Shout out, y'all. Thank you for everything.
All right, well, Quincy, welcome to the squad.
Yep, thank you so much.
West Coast. We're excited to see what you can do this summer.
Absolutely.
And, I give the Menlo Park Legends fans something to cheer about.
Yep, happy to be here. Go Legends.
Coming in relief for the Legends to begin the top of the 8th will be Dylan Trammell, as he'll be getting the ball, see if he could put together a clean inning. As the Legends trying to hold on to a 3-run lead as we're getting into the late hours here in San Mateo. But right now with me in the booth, after having a solid start for the Legends tonight on the mound, going 6 innings, striking out 2 batters, only allowing 2 runs to come across, is Diego Menjivar. Diego, happy that you could join us again here on the broadcast. And, yeah, good job tonight, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but, just talk about the approach that you had up there on the mound tonight as we see Carson Chavez come up to the plate. But, just going in, what was the mindset? What was the goal of what you were trying to do?
Well, I was trying to get through more than 3, but I think that working with the new catcher, it's always a little harder getting used to it. And after a funky first inning. I got in some trouble. After that, it was instead of trying to strike the guy out, just throw it over the middle, and if they can hit it, they can hit it, and it worked.
Yeah, and just to give you the quick substitutions here made, now catching is Blake Cohens, and now playing second base is Tucker Beal. There's some substitutions being made for the Legends defense. Yeah, that's definitely good to hear, Diego, and, just know that it was your second start on the summer. Last start you didn't pitch as many innings as you did tonight. Like, what would you say what made the difference for you to go a little bit longer, to have more consistency with, the how you're mixing up your pitches and how many strikes you were able to get across against these Seagulls hitters?
Yeah, I think just not – okay, sorry. Just I think for the most part it was just the past 2 years I've been a reliever, so just getting used to pitching a lot of pitches definitely helps me get through more innings and just pounding the zone, first pitch strike, even if they hit it. Because as a reliever, my whole job is to strike out the side, but as a starter, it's try to get through 5.
Yeah, definitely, and we have a pinch hitter coming in for the Seagulls here. It's Jackson Landry, who's going to be hitting in the spot for Jalen Hodges. And, yeah, just looking back at your resume, you mentioned that you didn't do a lot of starting pitching at Ohlone. You were more of like the late inning guy, the guy that would come in to close out games. So knowing that it's a big shift from what you were doing in the spring to what you're doing now in the summer, like how would you say you've adjusted to that as far as just the amount of reps you've been getting?
Yeah, I think just having the trust in my ability and knowing that I'm not going to get hurt out there, because I've put in the work in the off season and putting in the work in the gym definitely helps me clear that mental block. So helping me throw more pitches.
Yeah, definitely. And, Diego, with, some of your Legends teammates now making commitments to, either coming out of the transfer portal or, coming out of JUCO balls, we kind of want to get the scoop on you. Like, what schools have you been talking to as far as where you're trying to play the next year, and, any takers out there at the moment?
No, 100%. I actually just committed to Bradley University about a couple days ago. It's Division I in the middle of Illinois. Peoria.
Yeah, oh yeah, know where that is. Hall of Famer came out there, Kirby Puckett.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Kirby. I think Kirby Puckett had a stint at Bradley for a short time, so you're in a good spot there, man. And Bradley, the pretty solid mid-major program. But yeah, congratulations, bro. We're actually finding that out ourselves firsthand here on the broadcast. So Legends fans tuning into tonight, Diego Menjivar is headed to Bradley in the fall. Oh, another commitment to add on here for the Legends program, and I'm sure Gabe Estevez is going to get on that. Probably get a post out for you tomorrow. But yeah, man. But just talk about that. Like, why Bradley? What made you interested and want to choose them?
Well, it's funny. I guess my recruitment process was funny. Earlier this summer, I was actually committed to Maine for about 3 minutes, and then when I told them I want to commit, they took it away. So I was kind of left in a interesting spot, and it was just one of those spots where I didn't want to wait for another school, just because there's so many players on the transfer portal and you don't know where you're going to end up at. So they took a shot on me and I took a shot on them, and now it's just try to go win a conference tournament and develop and become a better player.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Bradley, they're Missouri Valley, and yes. Yeah, the MVC, a few powerhouses known there. I think Indiana State's in there, and
yep.
You got a few other big name programs in there.
Yep. Murray State, actually.
Yeah, Murray
World Series.
Yeah, Murray State making it to the College World Series for the first time in program history. Bizon Resnick goes down on strike 3 looking. Thanks for joining us real quick, Diego. Glad you could talk with us, and good job on the start tonight, and and also congratulations on the commitment as well.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Of course, we have you for the rest of the summer, but want to wish you happy trails as you go on to Bradley, and definitely keep doing what you're doing, man.
Awesome, thank you, I appreciate it.
6-3 as we'll go to the bottom of the 8th here. Legends still in front in San Mateo.
San Mateo after a walk-off win by the Legends. They take it 8-7 over the Walnut Creek Crawdads, snapping their 7-game win streak coming to tonight. And I am here with the hero of the game who drove in the 2 runs to get the win and the bomb of the night, TJ Smallsley. TJ, you know, he had a big hit to win the game for the guys. Just tell me, what was the approach like going up to the plate with the bases loaded?
Yeah, just not much. Pitchers up there throwing a lot of fastballs, so just trying to get one of the zones, stay on top, and I mean, we bases loaded 1 out. Gotta get it going for the boys.
Yeah, and TJ, you know, coming out here during the summer, you know, being a guy all the way from across country in Pennsylvania, going to school out in Fairfield, just talk about what the experience has been like playing with these guys and just the do-or-die mentality to take down a team like the Crawdads, the front runners in the state. Just talk about what the experience has been like.
Yeah, it's been awesome just to get out here, see the area. It's a really nice area, and just seeing the way these guys show up and prepare every day. It's been pretty special to come in and get experience with a different group of guys. It's been fun.
And the team has been playing in close games, and of course, you know, in some ways you guys have been on the other end falling short of that, but you regained the confidence coming back with a walk-off of your own after suffering 2 walk-off wins so far this season. But just to get that one big hit to really turn the momentum around, especially trying to go for 3 in a row tomorrow against the Seagulls here at home, like how is this going to spark up like a bit of a win streak or some confidence back into the team, try to get back on the winning side?
Yeah, I mean, well, we've definitely lost a few tough ones recently, but I mean that's the #1 seed right now. So knocking them off with a little walk-off hit, I mean, should get the boys going, feeling good after that. So yeah.
All right. Well, TJ, thank you again so much joining us. Congrats on the win. Congrats on getting that big hit and the bomb of the night to win for you guys. And yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow to see how the Legends will favor against the Seagulls. But again, TJ Smallsley, everybody, thank you again for tuning in. 8-7 the final here in San Mateo. Legends win on a 2 RBI single walk-off by this guy right here.